Start recording content. I don't care if you haven't picked your niche. I don't care if you're just starting out on this journey. Pick up your phone and record your reaction to watching this video. If you ever have a goal of becoming a content creator, which I think 99% of you should, I think 99% of you should be putting out content, then pick up your phone in your pocket right now and just record your reaction to watching this video. It doesn't matter if you've picked your niche. You've got to start documenting your journey, because imagine the most famous people. Steve Jobs had a daily vlog. Imagine how big that would have been. And no matter where you get to in life, you want to be documenting every single step of the way. If you want to be successful, imagine you documenting every single step of the way. Imagine you end up becoming the best pianist and you've documented the first time you play the piano. Imagine how valuable, imagine how incredible that will be. So why do you want to be creating content? I think that creating content will lead you towards fulfillment. And that's for two different reasons. We know that to become fulfilled, you've got to do two different things. You've got to improve yourself every single day. You've got to have an impact on other people's lives. Creating content does both of those things. Why? Well, because the more content you create, the more skillful you get and the more growth you get. Also, the more growth that you get, the better your content will be. So creating content around your skill will encourage you to cultivate that skill even further. So that deals with the first half of the equation on becoming fulfilled. Now, the second half of the equation to becoming fulfilled is having an impact on other people's lives. Now, documenting your journey will have an impact, a positive impact on other people's lives, because you've got to understand is that there are people around you, people across the world that have the exact same problem as you. And say that problem that you have is procrastination. You struggle to procrastinate. Imagine if you record your thought process as you're trying to procrastinate. You recognize that you're watching Netflix instead of doing something important, and you pick up the camera and you just document what's going through your head, why you're not doing something that you should be doing, why you're watching Netflix. You document that and you put it online. That's going to be so valuable for someone else that's in that same situation. Someone else who's procrastinating watches your video, realizes how similar they are to you, can gain from what you have to say, can gain from your motivation. It's so much. The value of documenting is relatability. If someone is 1 week ahead of you, 1 week of one of your problems, you'll get so much more value out of hearing the advice that they have to give you than to hear the advice of someone who's 40 years ahead of you in your problem. So say your problem's anxiety. Someone who doesn't have anxiety anymore, who's teaching you how to remove anxiety, it's difficult for that person to relate because they had anxiety so long ago. Whereas someone that's just 2 weeks ahead of you, someone who's doing the exercises to remove anxiety, having their insight, who's someone who's in the same shoes as you, documenting their journey, that is so much more valuable. I seriously believe that documenting is everyone should be documenting. It's the model, the business model that will lead you to fulfillment. It will make you personally grow. It will have an impact on other people. It will make you rich. You'll have a following. You'll become an expert at something. I strongly believe that everyone should try and become the best in the world at something. Everyone should become a master at something, because humans are wired to be rewarded for growth, for personal growth. It's within our brain chemistry that when we grow, we get rewarded with pleasure chemicals. Because when we used to be cavemen, when we would grow and we'd adapt, our brain would say, yes, this is good. We're more likely to survive if we can grow. So our brain rewards us by making us feel good. It's natural for us to want to improve. Us improving ourselves naturally will give us more fulfillment and more pleasure. So try and become a master at something. Try and become the best in the world at something, because not only will that cover the half of the equation of personal growth, if you become a master at something with an applicable skill, something that you want to be a master at something that has an impact on other people's lives, or a skill that you can utilize to impact other people's lives. And that's the whole equation. You sorted the whole equation. So I think that your goal should be to become a master at something, and you should document every single step of the journey. I'm applying this in my own life. I want to be a master at marketing. That's the thing that gives me the most pleasure. Going deep into the brain, finding out why we do certain things. That's what gives me pleasure. I want to become the best in the world at marketing, and I'm going to document my journey every single step of the way, and you can watch along with me. Is there anything else I've got to say? I don't think so. I think that another thing you've got to recognize, and that I'm struggling with as well, is that every problem that you have can be fixed by reading books and taking action. It's the truth. If you're insecure, if you're emotionally unstable, if you're fat, everything can be cured by A, reading books, and most importantly, B, taking action. There's no problem that can't be solved in my eyes. You've got to recognize that your potential is almost limitless. You can do so much in your life, and you've got to believe that. Imagine you can do anything in your life. There is no goal too small. Once you have that mentality, then what you do with your time is an ethical decision. Let me repeat that. Once you recognize that your potential is limitless, what you do with your time is an ethical decision. You won't find it difficult to procrastinate when you realize your potential, and once you embody the driving factor that will take you to your potential, which I believe is documenting your journey and becoming an expert at something. Document that journey, and that's how you become fulfilled. Share this video if you enjoyed it. Like it as well, and subscribe. Share now, like the video now, and subscribe. I will see you in the next video. Peace.